Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another edition of Exploring with IUX. Express, explain, and excite. We are here with another webinar and another discussion. And this is going to be an absolute cracking webinar because we've hear about Amazon all the time. Amazon is a massive online retailer that has a market capitalization of over $1 trillion in the US. As well as being an online retailer, though, Amazon allows for individuals and businesses to sell and display products for sale online. And it is the largest internet retailer in the world by revenue, with 2021 revenues of more than 469 billion. It is huge. And Amazon is one of the most popular online marketplace, used, as I say, by both individuals as well as businesses. And although Amazon, the retailer, isn't available in Pakistan, the marketplace is. And many people still can engage in e-commerce from Pakistan. In this webinar, we discuss how you can build an e-commerce business on Amazon. And we are joined by two experts. Both have been in the Amazon e-commerce space for the last 3 to 4 years. First up, I'd like to introduce Nofil Ayaz Khan. Assalamu alaikum, Nofil.
Walaikum assalam, George. Thank you for having us.
Not at all. And Nofil has been working in Amazon with Amazon e-commerce as a business for the last, as I say, 4 years. He has his own agency. Let me get this right. Vercube.
Yeah, got it.
Vercube.
Yes.
And that specializes in basically Amazon. Is it marketing services for businesses that are launching on Amazon? Is that essentially what you do?
Yeah, so it's basically both, right? So if you want to launch a new brand on Amazon, a new product, so we're going to go ahead and hunt it for you. We're going to find it for you and then launch it. And then for existing sellers, that's where our main keys lie. So we help existing sellers scale on Amazon through our advertising wing and PPC, essentially.
Oh, okay, great. And joining us, along with Nofil, is his partner in crime at Vercube, is Taiba Raza. And Taiba, hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello, George. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm very well. Thank you for joining Exploring with IUX. Taiba also has been working in Amazon or sort of in the e-commerce space for 3 to 4 years. And she's also, as I say, a partner with Nofil in this area. But she's sort of, sorry, I'm talking as though you're not here. But your story is really interesting because you got into the space because you had a traditional office job, and then you became a mother and started wanting to work from home, and that's how sort of e-commerce materialized for you. Could you just explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's true. I was doing a proper office job since 7 to 8 years, and I have worked in different multinational companies before. But after getting married and being a housewife, and then after having a baby, it was getting a bit difficult for me to go in office and doing a proper job full time. So at that time, I started thinking like I should move on to some freelancing world and some e-commerce world, because I had in mind like I have to do something in business side. So I have interest in online world and e-commerce world. So then someone told me about Amazon world, and then I jumped into it and I started with entering into a few groups of Facebook. At that time there was two major groups, but then I started learning from my colleagues and from different online resources like YouTube, like Facebook, like everywhere there were so many resources. But then I realized like you should join some proper institute and proper course, so that you can learn under some experienced person that's gonna help you and save you much time.
Oh, can I just mention here, we've got a course on Amazon Virtual Assistant beginning on the 9th of June. So if you want to apply, hurry, the spaces are limited. But yes, go Go on,
Yeah,
Taiba. Thank
yeah,
you very much
yeah, that's true.
for
That's true.
being.
That saved me a lot of time, and then I like learned a lot from that. That I guess it was around 6 months course, but then the corona and pandemic happened, and then I got baby, so things were pretty much slow at that time. But then after getting back into the field and after starting field, I had some issues with communications, and that was getting difficult to get some clients online. So I learned from different peoples and different colleagues, and they helped me a lot to groom myself and to get my client. I still remember that time when I first got my client through Upwork, and uh, and uh, and someone really helped me to get him, and the excitement was over the sky. So
Great,
that
great.
that's when my journey started, and I never stopped. And because whenever you get your first client, it's the time when you get the motivation kick and you start doing more and more.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's just go back a little bit.
yeah,
Norfield, can you just tell me? So Amazon e-commerce. So how does it actually work? Because when I think of Amazon, I think of going and buying a product on Amazon, uh, and I've done that when I've been in the UK or the US because obviously they have, you know, presence there. But we're in Pakistan. How does it work here? How does e-commerce with Amazon work here? Could you and explain to me like a 5-year-old?
Yeah, right. So basically, there were a lot of barriers, right, before with Amazon, in Pakistan, because you couldn't create an account on Amazon, you didn't have the resources to do it, and there were all sorts of these little bottlenecks that you had to get through. But over the last few years, what you've seen is a rise in sellers from Pakistan who are, not just sellers, but also service providers, right? Who are helping these sellers launch their products on Amazon. So the way it works is it doesn't matter where you are in the world, essentially. So the internet allows you to do that. The world has changed. The advent of internet has changed everything for you. So any e-commerce that is happening, which by the way, Amazon US in the US, 45% of the market share in e-commerce is Amazon's, right? So you need to go out there and get that big chunk of sales for yourself. So if you're a trader, if you're a brand, if you're a seller, all you have to do is you have to source your product from another country, whether that's China, whether that's Vietnam, whether that's Pakistan, and you have to send that product essentially to the Amazon warehouse in the US, where Amazon will pick, pack, and ship your product. You will list it on their marketplace online, and you can sell to millions of customers from there. So that's how it essentially works. And
So
anybody,
I can if I'm making t-shirts in Pakistan, let's say, I can market them and brand them in on Amazon in the US, and I can ship those t-shirts from here quite easily or to the Amazon warehouse in the US, and then it gets distributed.
exactly, exactly. Although t-shirts isn't the best product, but yeah,
Okay, yeah, we'll get onto that question
yeah,
later in a
definitely.
second. No, so don't. We'll get there. But for example, what would I have to pay in order to because I mean you mentioned China. Would it be cheaper for me to sell t-shirts from by despite being in Pakistan, buying Chinese T-shirts and selling them from China to America, or is because I can imagine that in Pakistan there's a huge barrier, there's huge red tape, there's huge problems in terms of shipping goods in and out because of we know the problems of corruption and so on and so forth. Is it better to buy and source your products elsewhere and then send it to the US?
Yes, of course. I think that ease of business is the first priority anybody should be looking at, right? So, as a seller, what you need to ask yourself is what's my product? What's my market? Where am I going to get it the cheapest, in the best quality? And then, in how much money can I deliver it from that country to the US? And in most cases, in most of the products that I've worked with in my career, I have always found that I've always found China to be an excellent option. when it comes to cheap, good quality products, although their prices are on a rise as well as with everything else these days.
Yeah. So okay. So let's ask that question. So how do you find what that product is? Okay. So let's, you know, how do you start? What do you need to know?
All
Okay.
right.
Product.
Yeah, so essentially the product is the main thing. Okay, so as you also know, and as Taiba also knows, and most people watching,
Yeah.
that Amazon product hunting is the main thing, right? If you find the golden product, if you find the good product, then that's your key towards essentially having a successful launch. So we at Vercu we have a 20-point checklist actually that a product has to go through in order to be categorized as an approved or an okay product to launch on Amazon, right? And that has to do with a lot of things. For example, the first thing is your budget, right? As you asked. So the people often question me, can I start this in $5,000? Can I start this in $10,000? And that totally depends on the product and the market size. And the way you find that out, George, is by the keyword search volume. So every product has a certain keyword, right? And essentially, agencies such as ours and other Amazon agencies and Helium 10, all of these tools are essentially giving you keywords and giving you exact search volumes for these keywords. So that search volume defines how much you're going to essentially be putting in. So, for example, if there's a product that has a 50,000 search volume per month, right? That product is going to have a lot more budget requirement than another product which has a 20K or a 10,000 search volume per month. So it, and then there are a lot of things
So
on top of
why is that? Why is that? Because you're competing with other
with bigger
resellers
players.
as in terms.
Yeah.
With bigger players with, with bigger players essentially. So what happens is that on Amazon, if there's a very high search volume product, right? So and Amazon has been there since so long, so there are a lot of sellers already selling that product, right?
Right.
So
I see.
essentially what you have to do is, because the search volume is high, you also have to pay that much higher in your advertising, because the
Got
cost per
it.
click is higher as well, right?
Got it.
So that's why.
Okay, so but the key is not just in terms of finding the a product that has a high search volume, because presumably it's also about finding a product that has high margins, isn't it?
Yes, essentially,
Yeah.
yes, because you want to, that 20-point checklist, if I were to just share a bit of it with you, it essentially is that, okay, what's the search volume like? Okay, is Amazon itself sitting in the top sellers or not? Is Amazon sitting in one place, second place, third
Yeah.
place? And then you check,
Because you
okay,
cannot compete with the Amazon, the company itself.
yeah. And then what about the ratings of the product, right? And what about the competitors? So if you have three competitors in a product already having 10,000 reviews, right? And
Yeah.
10,000, 20,000, 30,000 reviews. So if you enter that market, George, you're going to get blown out essentially, because you have to spend that much more in order to get that many reviews and make your proposition, make your offer to the customers that much more compelling, because nobody wants to buy a product with no reviews.
And there comes the logistic and sourcing part. You have to get the 30 to 35% profit margin to get into the market, because then you have to spend the PPC as well, and so many marketing budget required. So if you're gonna have to spend that much, you have to get the margin of 30-35% before launching that product. If you're not getting good margin, then you should not go with that product.
So, and that brings me on nicely, Taiba, thank you, to my next
Thank you.
question. What are the best fields in Amazon with possible growth in Pakistan? Well, I mean, what are the good products? What should we be going after?
Like essentially products that we can sell on Amazon.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
are the
from
what have
Pakistan.
yeah, or what have you seen work in the past? It doesn't have to be from Pakistan, it could be from China, but what have you sourced or your clients have sourced that have really taken off and worked well?
Right. So I can share with you the best niches, right? The best niches that I think are wonderful to work in, right? and one of them is home and kitchen, right? Home and kitchen, any product that's in that category, whether, and if you are even starting new, right? So it could be a bag, it could be something with plastic, it could be a cup holder, it could be anything, right? And with new and new trends coming in every day, new and new accessories adding getting added into your kitchen set, what you can do is you can get into this category, and you can fight your way up to the top as well. Another one is beauty and cosmetics, because the margins are beyond anything we can imagine. So if you really do crack the beauty and cosmetics niche, and you get in there and you get good reviews, I've seen it blow up into multi-million dollar accounts as well.
So would it be worth someone like let's take someone like a stay-at-home mum or somebody who has a small beauty brand here in Pakistan. I'm not talking Nabila here. I'm talking perhaps she's bought. Can she go and sell these things online at Amazon? Is it, or would it be worth her time?
I
A
think that
Pakistani.
Well, as a Pakistani stay-at-home mom, I think that you always have to begin on the grassroots level, right? You have to grow from the local market, essentially. So my recommendation there would be to grow in your own market first, to start with the Shopify local private label. Start there, grow your brand there, and then go to Amazon. Because George, what we need to realize is the day you step onto Amazon, you're then essentially competing with the top of the top people, right? And there are only so many keywords for individual products, right? So for beauty, you say makeup and brush, right? So there are only so many keywords there.
Yeah, but for example, if I'm competing like for a Desi audience, let's say I've got a brand of makeup that's particular for the Desi complexion, the Desi skincare, could I be putting not English words in there, keywords, but like, uh, I can't think of any Urdu words, rang, sort of
Yeah.
kubsurat,
So,
glow, whatever.
yeah.
I don't know the
That
words.
totally depends on your audience, George. Like if you are selling on Amazon, then your targeted audience should be from US, UK, and somewhere in Germany and some other country. So you should
Huh.
select your keywords and your wording according to the audience.
And
But can you not target particular communities within
you
those
can,
countries
you
that
can,
are Desi, like Pakistani or Indian Americans or Brits or Germans
Yeah,
that perhaps.
but
you,
yeah,
you
if
see
you
this
do so,
happen.
you can do so, but then you are limitizing your audience, and you are targeting very small group, and then the sales and outcome, it will also gonna be like not that much, which you can assume from the Amazon market size. It has a very big market size, so you should not go with particular size, and you should create your listing according to the audiences.
But here's what you do, George. What you essentially do is you take your product, right, and you make sure that the you what we do in Spain and US essentially is that we know that there are a lot of Spanish and Mexicans there, right? So you are targeting the US audience at large. But to your point, we do add Spanish and Mexican keywords. We add those terms in there so that we can reach that audience on Amazon. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay, cool. So, okay, so you said home and cookware. You mentioned makeup and
Baby
beauty.
toys, yeah, baby toys, dog toys, anything of that
Yeah.
sort. Yeah,
Arts and
Okay,
crafts is also good category.
office products.
great. So, okay, so we talked about the sort of the mum with her beauty line. What about someone like myself? If I decide, okay, I want to make a bit more money on the side, ICRA University is not paying me enough. I want to have a side hustle. Tika,
Yeah.
what um, what could I be doing? Could I literally, even though I'm not making a product, could I become a middleman where I go into China, let's say, buy that dog toy or cat toy, and
Yeah.
literally get it from source it from the factory and ship it to Amazon, pay for that, ship it to Amazon warehouse, and then get commission on the every sale. And how long
Yeah.
will Amazon keep that stock for? Because until they chuck it out and say, well, it's not selling.
Yeah, they don't chuck it out. Actually, they keep charging you a per month fees.
More and more.
So they're just
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So
just
so
like,
They
so,
keep
so let,
increasing.
let, let so let's talk. So first of all, could I do something like that?
yeah.
Yes.
So yes, you could. Definitely, you could. Yes,
And so
because
what? Sorry, Karen.
yeah. So the thing is that there are a few little steps involved in between as well, in the middle. So when you are
Could you
sourcing
talk through that
something.
process?
Yeah, so when you talk to the Chinese supplier, right? Essentially, what you have to do is you have to check whether that product has a design patent or not. As long
Yeah.
as that product does not have a design patent, all you have to do is take that product, stamp your brand on it, on top of it, and ship it to US, just as you said, and you could become an Amazon seller within the next 2 months. Yes, you could
Okay.
start selling.
So my question to you is, what's stopping? Let's say I do that, and it becomes all guns blazing, very popular. And Norfolk here decides, hang on a sec, George is doing quite well with his branded dog toy. Okay, I'm going to go to the same uh, manufacturer in China. I'm going to put on Norfil's dog toy brand, and I'm going to sell the same thing slightly cheaper. What's stopping you from doing that?
Yeah, so basically, if you're smart enough, you'd have an agreement with your supplier that doesn't let him do that.
So
So,
you have an exclusivity agreement?
yeah, we have exclusivity
Yeah.
agreements with our suppliers in China that we are the only seller on Amazon that they're going to sell to. Other than that, they're not allowed to sell to anyone who's going to resell on Amazon.
But China is notoriously
Oh,
difficult
yes.
to
Oh, yes.
litigate in, and and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we know that
And there are 100
China.
factories, George. There are 100 factories too. They're gonna go in there and go to another factory, right? So what
Yeah.
saves you there is A, your the quality of your product, and B, your team, right? The people who are working on your Amazon, making sure that your PPC, your advertising is creating enough sales and enough profit for you on a per month basis. So it's to
Okay,
keep
so
it.
let's talk costs here. So let's talk. Okay, we are buying the the dog toy. Okay, so we have to pay a cost for that. We then have a cost for so we let's say we have 1,000 units of the toy initially. We're paying for the cost of that. We're paying for the shipping costs from China to the
The US.
US. Then we pay a cost to Amazon, as you mentioned, to house it per month. Okay? Do we then, and then let's say per unit it costs $1 to make, and we're selling it for $17, okay? For example. So that's a $16 profit, but we've obviously got other costs involved now. So we've got marketing costs, advertising costs, branding. Hello?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I lost you.
Sorry, I lost you for a bit. That was probably me. So you do all the branding and the advertising. These are the sort of things that is a cost as well that we would pay you to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what other costs would we be missing out on there?
Yeah, so basically, as you said, the warehousing to keep the products in Amazon warehouse, right? That's a separate cost. So then there's also an FBA cost, Amazon FBA cost. That's a per product cost that you have to pay to Amazon for its pick, pack, and shipping services, right? So if we our product is like we're making it for $1, selling it for 17, right? That's a $16 profit on that. After our shipping, our inventory cost, after our FBA cost, we'd be looking about roughly $4 to $5 that will be left. Out of that $16 that we have to spend.
Okay, 4 to 5, is that all? So you really have to, oops,
Yeah,
hello?
yeah, the margins, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I think you're back now. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah, so the
proper
margins really,
calculator in available in the market. You put your product dimension, sizes, and their weight, and then they tell you how much Amazon is gonna charge you the fees, FBA fees on the particular product, and how much is the actual price you should source to get the profit margin of around 30-35%. It gives you the clear picture of everything.
so what is the easiest and effective business model of selling on Amazon?
Yeah, I think the most easiest and effective would be Amazon FBA, right? FBA private label. Most people would argue that wholesale is a very good
Yeah,
alternative to it, and drop shipping is another good alternative
dropshipping.
to it. But I personally believe that when you're building an Amazon FBA private label, you're actually building a brand. And once you do eventually build a brand, there's no cap on that, and that is where the big bucks lie, right? And I wanted to say this previously as well, that George, it's going to what stops people is that the startup capital required is a little higher than expected, right? Because in the first few months you're not going to get enough sales. So
Yeah.
our struggle is always a 6 to 8 month struggle that we have to do in order to get enough reviews, in order to test our product enough, put it in front of enough people, and then make enough sales to actually start turning a profit per month. So that's the aim. It's not a quick
Okay,
money making scheme, but it's
Yeah,
eventually
if
it
you are going for short term, then
it
you can
makes
go
money.
with the dropshipping or wholesale model. But if you want to build an asset and you want to go big in the future, then no comparison with Amazon FBPL.
Okay, so you just mentioned a few words here, buzzwords that I just wanted to get a bit of clarity for our audience.
Yeah, yeah.
FPA is
fulfilled by Amazon.
Fulfilled by Amazon.
fulfilled by Amazon.
By Amazon. And FPM is the
Okay, so
fulfilled by
FA,
merchant, like you are
so
shipping the product from your own home.
so
Uh,
the example I gave of the dog toy would be
Yeah,
a branded dog toy would be a fulfilled by Amazon.
Amazon.
Now
yeah.
you mentioned drop shipping, and I wanted to get to you on that. What is drop shipping, and why aren't Amazon sellers in Pakistan teaching drop shipping on a large scale? So could you explain what drop shipping is? Because I've been on a ship and I've never been dropped in one. So could you tell us what it is?
All right.
Taiba, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So basically, drop shipping is like you are not buying anything. You are not buying any stock. You are just listing your product on the Amazon, and you are buying it from somewhere cheaper like Walmart, Sam Club, or even from the Amazon as well. So Amazon basically allow this as well, and they have like very strict policies, but still they allow to the sellers like they can list a product without buying any stock. And whenever an order comes in, they just go to the that cheaper website from where they are buying, like eBay, Walmart, Sam Club, something like that, and then they buy the product and ship to the buyer which place order on their listing. So then comes the part where the issue started because when you ship the product from Walmart, so they're gonna wrap it up in their own on flyer. So the customer came to know like it's not from the Amazon itself, and it is shipping from somewhere else. So that's a bit strict policy when the things come started. But in like you mentioned, why people are not teaching it on the larger scale in Pakistan. So let me tell you, there is a like a city in Pakistan who is doing drop shipping since ages, and they are doing very well in this. And but there is a very thin line between the right and wrong in drop shipping, because the sometimes people do like they ask for the refunds from the buyers and also from the sellers as well. So they are earning from both ways, and there comes the problem and there comes the mistake, which is very uh, happening current times. And Amazon is going very strict on this, and Amazon is banning accounts on like very higher level. And you cannot even imagine the numbers which Amazon is banning the account due to all these malicious activities. So that's the reason people, when you thought
It's
give the
it's a
yeah,
bit sly, isn't it? You know, you're
yeah,
buying from Peter to sell to
yeah,
Paul. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's I don't know. I
You
think
can start earning right away from this model. I can trust you, people are making a lot of money from this model, but you cannot go along with this. Sooner or later Amazon is gonna block your account. Amazon gonna block everything from your account, and then you have nothing in your hand except the money you have already made. So that's not a asset, that's not a long term
yeah, it's
process
not.
which you have put your energy and efforts in it. Yeah,
And do you think Amazon will ban drop shipping?
Entirely?
Mm.
Not really, no. But the thing is that adding a little bit on top of what Taiba just said, I think that having that threat on your account, right? That it's
yeah.
gonna get blocked anytime, any day, and tomorrow what you'd be doing. That is something that just pivots people away from doing it. A lot of people are
Yeah,
getting
we
into
don't even recommend doing private label on the same account if you are doing drop shipping on that account. So it's that much risky.
Okay. So I just want to now come into sort of certifications and courses. And as I mentioned earlier, we do a course on virtual assistant. And could you
Yeah.
explain to me what that is and what you think the benefits are for somebody perhaps who's watching this, who's either a recent grad who wants to earn a bit of extra um, cash, or somebody who wants to make it be their own boss and make it their entire business, or even someone like yourself, Taiba, who has their hands full with other responsibilities, but also wants to be financially independent. Do you recommend something like a Amazon Virtual Assistant certification as the sort of first level of getting into this space?
Yeah, definitely. I think that essentially what you have to do is you have to. There are 9.7 million sellers on Amazon, right? And 2 million are selling on a regular basis. So an Amazon virtual assistant is essentially who's helping these sellers on a day-to-day basis achieve their targets, right? So
Yeah,
up now, what you can do is you can go ahead, go onto Google, go onto YouTube, and you can search it up all yourself as well. Learn it, but what you want to do is you need to save your time as well, because time is money. So what a
Yeah.
certification or a course allows you to do is to shorten that time frame in which you can learn the things that you need to learn, and then in a month, 2 months, 3 months, be armed with everything you need to have in order to go out there in the market and start earning money right away. And yes, George, for people who are in Pakistan right now, they, with the current situation ongoing with the Pakistani rupee, every day it's climbing. Earning in dollars has become something that everybody should be eyeing towards, right? And
yeah,
Yeah.
being an Amazon virtual assistant, gives you that access to that dollar pool, but also the world has changed, so now you can be a virtual assistant for three different clients, make 2,000
Yeah.
$2,500 a month, right? Which is otherwise not possible from normal jobs. So that's why I do agree with the fact that if there is assistance that you can take in this, do take it. shorten your time and go for it, because you can start earning right away.
Taiba, your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah. So, like Nofil said, I totally agree with this. From earning from the virtual assistant job is way better than the proper office job currently people are doing in Pakistan. Plus, on top of that, virtual assistant is that much important because the people who are already selling on Amazon or aiming to sell, there are so many like process to go with the Amazon FBA. Like nobody can, it's not a one person job, nobody can do it alone, and they need some help, some professional help. And like you said, some housewife is gonna start their Amazon journey, so she don't know everything about Amazon, she don't know ins and outs of Amazon, how this process started, how she should hunt a product, and how to list a product, how to do the keyword indexing. So all these things comes with the professional, because they already know, they have already launched the product, they have gone through the same process, so they can implement their experience and their knowledge into that, and that gonna help you rank way much earlier than you're gonna do it yourself. So people who are living abroad and who are planning to launch, and if they have already launched, they are running so many products already, so they cannot manage it by single handedly, so they need some help, they need a helping hand. So the people from Pakistan is very good at it, and so many people I have known, like who started their career in this Amazon virtual assistant, and now they're earning like mashallah very good, and they are doing very exceptionally good. Like people have changed their professions. I know some doctors, I know some like they were like CAs, which is a very good professional degree, and they switched their like professions to the Amazon virtual assistant world, because it gives you way better exposure from their already jobs which they are already doing.
Oh,
And
how
dollars.
much? How much could they be earning? Takriban.
Yeah, they are earning really good from, if someone is switching from a doctor profession, so you can think about like how much good they are earning from this proper thing. So it's that
So,
good,
so
but still,
Amazon virtual assistants are earning better than doctors.
yeah, someone are really actually
Doctors
doing,
in
and they're
Pakistan.
switching their,
Yeah.
yeah,
Doctors in
in
Pakistan, right?
Pakistan, yeah, exactly. And then comes the comfort of your home, and sitting on your home and doing, and freedom of like sitting anywhere. You can go to the northern areas, you can go with your family trip, and you can do your job from there as well, and then you're good to go. You don't have to like stick from 9 to 7, 9 to 5, and the job timings, and you go on daily basis and commute in this like hot weather, summers, winters, everything. So that's the thing which
Ah.
people can like switch their profession as to.
So calling from Natia Gali or Hanza or where are you at the
No, no.
moment?
Currently I'm calling from my home, but I'm telling you like the uh, advantages of this
The
field.
potential, yeah. Great.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've got some comments. I want to quickly go to those. So let's
yeah,
go to the
sure.
comments. Uh, let's go. We got oh, someone's just put 100%, 100%, 100%. So, Shamaila has put double, whatever that means. Oh, well, we sort of, so, I mean, what is, Zara has written, how much does an Amazon virtual assistant make?
I can give you an idea on that. So basically, it actually depends on the client that you land, right? So if
Yeah.
you get a good client, then that he can pay you $1,000 a month as well. One client. And I have personally
Once a
seen
year.
virtual assistants start making $1,000, 1,500, $2,000 as well, just on their own, not as an agency. So there is a lot of potential there.
So you can, oh wow, so you can do, and presumably you could do multiple clients
Multiple.
potentially.
So
So
yeah, and
if
that's
you're
your plan,
earning, so realistically, how many could one person, if they were just wanting to be a one-man band and not become an agency like yourself, how many clients could one person assist?
I think it's all about what you should be very selective on the amount of clients that you keep. I always say have very high paying clients, have few clients, right? So I have also had clients who paid $5,000 a month, $1,000 per week, $1,250 a week. So it's all about whether you know what you're doing, because people out there, Amazon sellers out there, multi-million dollar sellers, they are looking for solutions, so they are willing to pay you $1,000 to up to $5,000 a month if you can actually get them that many more sales, right? So it's about your skill. If you have that
Yeah,
skill, go out there and you can get two to three, even four clients at the same time
Mm,
as one person.
great. So yeah, that would be fantastic. So if you're making, $2,000 each, that's a
Yeah,
considerable.
$24,000 a year. That's actually like way more
Yeah,
than
that's
the
decent.
average Pakistani take home
yeah.
currently.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
home
Okay.
currently, exactly.
What is the scope of being a PPC manager? I don't know what a PPC manager is. Do you know what a PPC manager is?
Yeah, so basically, a PPC manager is essentially someone who takes care of and manages your PPC console. PPC stands for pay per click advertising
Basically.
on Amazon.
All right.
Um, you know about Facebook Pixel? It's similar to
Mm.
that on Amazon. If you want to advertise, you advertise on their PPC console. So being a PPC manager means that you are leading the team that is managing the entire campaigns, creation, scalability, all of that. So your advertising team's manager, and that's a pretty high scope because George, people are willing to pay a lot for these people.
Okay. So it's a good scope. It's a good, job to try and get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, cool. What is the best marketplace to start your journey as an Amazon seller? Well, I think we've covered that. We mentioned home and cookware. We mentioned cosmetics. We
I think
mentioned
what she means by
toys,
that, George,
both.
is
yeah.
which marketplace, as in which country,
Marketplace
like the
like
US.
US, UK.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sure. So,
I think
so, so yeah.
I think UK is a good enough place to start, only because the startup capital is a little lower, only because it's a fresher market than the US, and right
yeah,
now the competition is a little lower there. But make sure to check your VAT calculations, because that's going to be something that you need to be looking into when you're going into UK.
So that's interesting because you talk about VAT, value added tax.
Yeah,
Now, would you have
yeah,
to pay that in the UK or would you have to
yeah,
pay
you
yeah.
that
would. Yeah,
where?
you would. Yeah, so
So
basically you
you would
have to
have to pay.
pay
Yeah, it's
tax.
somewhere between 7.5% to 20%, depends on if you have applied for exemption and not. So, people in the UK, if they are selling on Amazon, they have to pay the tax on top of their actual price. So, prices are a little higher in the UK market, but it's a new market. You can rank easily on that market as compared to US.
But we can help you get your money back,
Yeah,
like
Oh,
the
you
VAT
can.
money. Yeah. So like you're paying
I'm
VAT on a
I'm
daily
I'm
basis.
really I'm quite tempted, Norville, to come and do an experiment with you where we do the whole process of me becoming a, an entrepreneur and set up a brand. We could
Yeah.
perhaps do this George and Norville, dog toy business and
Yeah.
come and do that as an experiment.
Yeah. I'll take you up
yeah.
on that.
Okay, what other questions do we have? Okay, what is search engine optimization and what role does it play in product ranking?
Yeah, so search engine optimization is basically essentially everything online, because it's all algorithms, right? All of these websites, Amazon, A9 algorithm, it's Google's SEO, search engine optimization. So, what essentially you have to do is SEO is important in every single thing that you do online, whether that's selling a product, whether you have a blog, or anything at all. So, in Amazon, search engine optimization means that you find your top best keywords, you put them into your listing so that they get indexed into your listing. Next time, whenever someone searches for your product, that particular keyword, your product is going to show right in front of them. So it's very important. It also helps you in PPC, because those are the keywords
Yeah.
that you then use in order to rank and advertise on your products. So it's
Okay,
very
so the
important.
PPC
Yeah.
okay, great. What I don't quite understand. What campaign structure do you prefer for a newly launched product?
Yeah, so
Uh,
this is a PPC question essentially. For a newly launched product, what campaign structure would you essentially go with, right? So IMA, we actually go with a few research campaigns and a few exact targeting campaigns to start with, which essentially allow us to search for more keywords that we previously haven't
Yeah.
found. And the exact campaigns we launch, we actually club 3 to 4 keywords per campaign. We keep them into smaller portfolios so that we can gauge their performance in that way. So for a new product, exact campaigns or the best keywords, and then other campaigns that research campaigns. That way we go. I think we lost George.
is anyone there?
Hey George, can you hear me?
Hello, hello, Norfolk. Can you hear me? See me? Okay, we are just trying to fix this technical problem. Hi.
Hey, yeah, you're back.
Taiba, Norfolk, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, where's Norfolk? Sorry
Often
about
Yeah.
also
that.
here.
That was a
Yeah,
technical glitch. We're
yeah.
such an
Yeah.
interesting subject. So yeah, so you were talking about campaign structure.
Yeah. So basically, the campaign structure I was telling,
I guess his internet is stuck again.
Yeah. Okay, Taiba,
Yeah.
why did you tell me about it?
Yeah, sure. For the newly launched product, we don't know the exact keywords on which we should like set up our campaigns. So in the beginning, we should go with the auto campaigns, and these campaigns is gonna bring us the exactly keywords which are good for our product and which are actually bringing the sales. So then on the next campaigns, we should target only those keywords in the exact frame type, and then that's gonna be like a good approach for a newly launched product.
Okay, great. I don't know if Norfolk can hear us still. Can you hear us,
I
Norfolk?
can.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, this is quite a technical question, I think. How can we control the ACOS as the bids per click are going high day by day? So how would a seller would sustain its position in the market? Could you translate that for us who are not uh, knowledgeable? So what is
Yeah.
Mohsen asking for here?
Yeah, so basically, ACOS stands for advertising cost of sales, right?
yeah,
So basically, what you're doing is, as what he's talking about is that with increasing competition on Amazon, the bids per click are going higher day by day, right? Which means that to get in front of people and get those impressions and clicks, it's costing you higher and higher. And people are trying, and your competitors are bidding higher than you are, right? If you have a CPC set of $3, they're gonna go in at $4, right? And they're winning the race there. So what he is essentially asking is, how would you sustain your position in the market if this is happening? So Mohsen, I would suggest that you create a ranking strategy funnel, in which you dedicate a certain set amount of budget towards this ranking strategy, where the end of this ranking strategy is going to be that your product will be ranked, and then you will be slowly bringing down your PPC budget. So for the next 2 weeks, try to go in with a higher budget, with a higher top of search, 100, 150% if you have to, get those keywords ranked in, get those reviews up as well, so that you can then sustain your position at the top of the market. So that's what I'd suggest to you.
Okay, so just so I think I get you. You're saying you want to get higher up the ranking of the page by
Yeah.
through your ranking strategy and by getting the keywords and doing the SEO element, so that you're not having to pay so much for the cost per click
Yes.
element. Is that right?
yeah.
Basically, what happens is that TOS means top of search. So it's an advertising, PPC advertising terminology, which means that if you go onto Amazon, you type in dog toy, right? And the first four products that Amazon is going to show you are the sponsored products, right? Those are the people who are
Yeah, I've seen
paying
that.
to, yeah, to see that, right? So over there, how do you place your product there? By increasing your top of search spot by 150%. That means that if the normal CPC is $1, you are willing to pay $2.5 on top of your competition to ensure that you are getting that spot. What this does is, because you're showing to more and more people at the top, you're getting more and more sales. When you're getting more and more sales, your sales velocity is increasing, your organic ranks, which means
Hmm.
you are
Organic
going
We
higher
lost
ranks.
in
them.
Amazon, right? On keywords, which place are you sitting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
So
increase
yeah,
your organic ranks that way. Once you increase your organic ranks, you're already, yeah, Yeah. It's all about
Okay,
those top
so
five to
people pay
positions
to
on
be
the
at,
Amazon page one that you have.
right. And what you're saying is people pay to get to be on that top bar, 2.5 over the top rate, in order to drive up their organic ranking as well.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes, yes. Essentially. And
Right.
that's the race basically. How do you sustain that position? Yeah. By creating a strategy.
Oh, and okay, and you're the person to give that strategy, I'm sure. Um, how can I make it easier for my
You can come to me,
customers to
George.
find
Don't
my
worry.
products on Amazon? I'm gonna come to you, don't worry. How can I make it easier for customers to?
I
Beginning, proper keyword indexing in your
yeah
listing. Those proper keywords will ensure your listing is getting in front of the right people. Then you advertise on those keywords so that you are showing to more and more people on Amazon, and that's how you make it easier for customers. Also, a
yeah
tip for you: try to start your product with your keyword and your brand name, right? That will ensure that the next time someone is searching for it, it helps them get your product much easier, much sooner.
Okay. Um, now there was another one that was really interesting. Okay, so this is a question from Shiral. I want to start private label with a budget of $10,000. Which is the best niche to work in? Well, we've covered perhaps the niches of cosmetics and all of those things. But I want to ask: is a $10,000 budget enough to start off with? Do you think?
Yeah, so I think, Cheryl, if you're going for it depends on how much budget do you have, right? If you only have this $10,000, then the product that you'd have to target would have to be a very small search volume product, and this is something that will
a
help
low
you,
ticket product.
George. I'd like to tell you guys that you can start an Amazon private label FBA in $5,000 even, by just ordering few units, 500 to 1,000 units, sending them to Amazon FBA, testing it out whether it's selling or not. But if you really want to create a brand from the get-go, then about 15 to 25,000 dollars is where you should be aiming, and you should have this budget if you want to go into this Amazon FBA private label.
Yeah,
So 15 to $25,000. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
yeah.
Where what just um, great. I think that's it from those questions. Let's go back to the banners. Uh, so someone's so this is one of our questions. Can we ship products from Pakistan, or will it be cheaper to ship from Pakistan than from China? Is it easier to ship from China than Pakistan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
China shipping is much easier than Pakistan because they are shipping to the whole world basically. So there are the shipping like firms and freight forwarders who are doing it on the very cheap rates as compared to Pakistan. The shipping from here is very less to the other markets, so that's why we should pay to the higher prices for the shipping as compared to China.
But you can
Okay, so it's
essentially ship
better to
out
ship from
from
China.
Yeah,
Pakistan.
but you can exactly.
Um, okay, so what would, if we were to do it, what would be the procedures to ship products from Pakistan to an Amazon warehouse?
Yeah, so you'd
How do
have
you do it?
Yeah, so you'd have to particularly look into the exports and the customs of Pakistan in order to
Yeah,
get your product from Pakistan's shipping ports off to Amazon. But once you get through that, because I personally, whenever I had this feeling, okay, let's do a product from Pakistan, let's take something from here. There are so many barriers involved, and then obviously at the end, when you get a better price in China or some other country, so it's much easier right now to ship from another country. But if you were to ship from Pakistan, all you have to do is follow the same procedures. I think probably you'd ship from Karachi, the Karachi port, and you ship it from
Yeah.
there. It will reach direct. You put the Amazon warehouse address there. It'll ship it directly to there. Also, what people do is, George, there's a term called 3PL, which means an intermediary, a warehouse in the middle of Amazon and you, which means that you send it first to you send your inventory to this intermediary, which houses your inventory, and then they send it to Amazon bit by bit. So that's one of the ways people do it as well.
Acha. Okay. Oh, so it's that's cheaper than to Amazon at once and having they're cheaper housing than Amazon. Is that's business?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Norfolk, can you
Will
hear
Amazon
me?
come to Pakistan? Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Norfolk,
Your video's a bit stuck, George.
Yeah.
Um,
will Amazon come to Pakistan? Yeah, I'm sorry, we're having a bit of technical issues here. Will Amazon come to Pakistan, and what would be the challenge? Jizz.
well, I think for now we have a lot of our own challenges to figure out here first, before we can actually go out to these mega companies and ask them to come to our country. Because the biggest challenge is uncertainty, right? We've heard about PayPal. I'm a big proponent of PayPal. I always say one of the big reasons why people are unable in Pakistan to make a good living online is because they don't have PayPal. They don't have these payment processes that are required, right? So all of these, why these companies aren't coming is because of the uncertainty that is surrounding our political landscape at the moment, as well as the economy. So I believe that's the biggest challenge right now. But you should never say never, and I hope that one day we do see Amazon coming into Pakistan,
Yeah.
because it's a very big marketplace, and I believe that whichever player, no player has won it yet, and the e-commerce industry in Pakistan is ever growing. So whoever wants to come in here and become the unicorn, they can.
Great. Well, Nofil, thank you very, very much. And Taiba, thank you very, very much for taking
Thank
It
enlightening
was great
and
talking to you.
useful and educational
Yeah.
webinar. I really enjoyed it. I've
Yeah.
learned a lot.
I'm also very
And
happy, like we are giving back to the
if you
community
want
which
to,
we have learned in this
engage their
time.
services, their company is
Yeah, yeah. Likewise, it was a great talking to you and
yeah.
great talking to the audience as well. And we
So
had very good
ViraCube is
questions.
their company, and that's where you need to be going if you want. Um,
Yeah,
Great,
thanks so much
thank
for
you.
that, George.
And
Thanks so
just
much.
Thank
one
you.
final reminder of the fact is that we have our thank you. And we have our Amazon Virtual Assistant course beginning on the 9th of June. That's in like
Yeah,
2 days' time. So the last few seats are available. So hurry, a bee. It's gonna you never know if you do this course, you're gonna be the next Taiba and Novel and earning lakhs and lakhs of rupees.
yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And Khuda Hafiz. So that's all of the time we have for today. Thank you for watching Exploring with IUX. We'll be back. Ugly